So today there won't be any sample or beat breakdown. I'm gonna show you all 20 insane tips every producer should know, as the title says. And I would recommend you to watch this video till the end because there's so much sauce in here. And not only for your sample and beat making, it's basically for your workflow as well. I'm gonna show you all 20 things that you can implement right away. So I would really appreciate if y'all just leave a like and a comment. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you want something crazier than these 20 tips, y'all make sure to go on Lucaland, my own kit store. There are so many high quality sounds and you will get a 15% discount when just going onto the site. I would really appreciate that and it would really help me. And I don't want to make it into too long, so let's get right into the video. So for the first thing, I know you can hear bass notes, but if you can, or like for an example, you can't really hear it in one sample. As you can see right here, I'm gonna open up this stream. And as you can see, what I do is open Edison and then go onto this thing right here. Go into convert to score and dump to piano roll. And then as you can see right here, I have my bass notes. And I'm gonna show it to you in FL as well. This sample from cutoff right here, I'm gonna just drag it so I have the bass notes. And first of all, I'm gonna just search for the bass. And I'm gonna just make it unique as sample, save it into a sample folder. Then I'll double click on the unique part and right click this right here, go into edit in audio editor, and then just click on here and then go to convert to score and dump to piano roll. And as you can see right here, I'm gonna just scroll down so the bass line is there. This is the finished bass line. This is basically the complete bass line. And then what I do is basically just copy everything, put it on this sampler track, which is like just an empty track. As you can see, there's no sound in there. The reason why I do that is because otherwise the bass would be playing. So this would be the bass line without me copying it over to a sampler track. So yeah, it sounds really muddy. So I just copy it over to the sampler track and then I have the bass notes on my ghost notes, and the ghost notes you can turn on when you go to view and then go to ghost channels right here. As you can see, there is I think the hide pattern or the open net pattern, and when you don't have it on, they will basically disappear. And that's really all for finding the root notes really quick. And now let's get on to the next trick. So as you can see, when I go to file right here, it says new Luca did this template 2023, and I'm gonna just click on it so you can like get the hang of what I mean. And as you can see, there's already my whole mastering chain for my beats and all of these EQs right here. And another thing I have is basically having the high channel, 808 channel, but without the sounds in there. And for me, it's really important that I already have them on the mixer track. So you can see the height is on mixer track 9, and in the mixer you can see that the height is obviously on mixer track 9. It already has the low cut on it, so I just have to level it basically. And if the height has too much low on, I'm gonna just basically play around with this thing right here. And that's really all I have. And I'm gonna show you how to save it. It used to be really hard to save your templates, or like not even hard, but like annoying. But for this new FL update, you just go on file, save as template, and I'm gonna just give it a name and save it. And as you can see, the project and its data have been saved as a new project template. This new template is the current working project. And if you just go on options and then general options and then just scroll down like a little bit, you can pick your default template. I'm gonna just do it like this. And then when I go on file and then new, there is the like and comment template, and I'm gonna just open it so you can see it's basically the same template that I just saved, and everything else is the same. So this is like a really good tip to save time as well. Then for the next thing, I'm just saying the FLP, go to my Starswap multi-kit. You can either drag these sounds in all the time, but a lot of the times for me, I'm gonna just drag it in like this because I don't really hit this right here. You can basically click your mouse button, like your mouse wheel button in, and then it will automatically like change the sound. I'm gonna just do it with an 808. As you can see, it just basically changes the sound all the time. I'm gonna just click through the sounds with my mouse wheel button. And this is like a really good tip as well, because as you can see, I drag it too many times on there and it's not linked to a mixer track then. So I'm gonna just delete it again. This is really a time saver and I'm so used to doing this that I don't even drag the sounds in. Then for the next tips, I have 3 shortcuts for y'all. The first one is Alt and Q. If you play something on your keyboard, as you can see, it is like a little bit of time or like off grid, and you just press Alt and Q, copy these settings, and they will get on grid right away. But if you have a MIDI piano, as I have right here, I just laid it down by hand, not by playing like the keys. I will press Alt and S, and as you can see, it will get strummed automatically, and you can play with the tension. You can either put it back, put it up, then you can play with the strength. And if you pull it down, or basically to the left, and when you put it to the left, it will go from top to bottom, and the other way around, it will go from bottom to the top. And just make sure to enable the preserve end option. And I'm gonna show y'all how it sounds with and without the strumizer. But what I'm gonna show y'all as well is Alt and R, where you can basically randomize your velocities. As you can see on the bottom right here, you can turn the bipolar option on, and what it does is basically turn like one note to the top, or like make it louder, the other one more quiet. And you can do the same thing with the panning, with the release, and with some other settings. But I most of the time just use the velocity because it makes it sound more realistic. And I'm gonna show you how it sounds with and without these shortcuts. So first of all, this is without these shortcuts. And now I'm gonna press Alt and R and randomize the velocity, and press Alt and S to strum it, but not like that much. But you will hear that it sounds way more realistic right away. And with these shortcuts, it sounds like this. saved. Then the next tip is please make sure to save your favorite sounds, and you don't have to put them in any like folders or something. You can basically, when you go on like a kid and like really like a sound, you see the star right here, you just press on the star and then there's the start folder, and as you can see the Big Dog 808 is right here. I'm gonna just unstar it, but there you can basically save everything you really like or use most of the time. Like let's say for me, I have this SS percussion tonal snare or two of my perc loops right here, which I really like, and some drum sounds obviously. So you basically, when you are right here, you can basically just drag them in. It's like a really simple tip, which still saves y'all a lot of time. And there's some stuff in there for my sample making and obviously for my beat making. There's like one MIDI I really like, another one I really like, and like a sample from Nash that I really like. But other than that, there's basically just my text, some drum sounds, and some things for making my samples. And it is like a really simple tip or like a simple trick, but it really saves so much time when you're making samples or beats, so you don't have to search for these particular sounds anymore. And now let's go on to the next tip. And for the next tip, it's very similar. I basically save my FX chains. So as you can see right here, I have my piano chains, some mastering chains, guitar chains, glitch chains, and everything else that I really need. Some vocal chains for my like vocals when making samples. And how you can save them, I'm gonna show it to you. So you can basically just load them in, and if you have like a mixing chain that you really like, you just right click on the master or basically on your channel that you have the chain on, go to file right here, go to save mixer track state as, give it a name. I have my name as Luca Master, but I'm gonna just call it master right here. And as you can see, when you go on file again, it should be right here. And this one is really the game changer. So let's say I have a piano, I'm gonna just go on file, then on piano, and then put my Vintage Piano 2 chain on there, which contains this Fruity Delay 3, this Simple Valhalla Vintage Verb, and this Fruity Parametric EQ 2. And you obviously have to tweak it like a little bit, but like the foundation is still there. And let's say for the delay, I would have to make all these changes to these settings right there. So I just save the time and can go on with the sample making. And that's really all there is for saving effect chains. And then one thing that is really important for me is having organized folders. As you can see, it goes from 1 to 12, from January to December. And like, let's just go into the January folder. There you have FLPs, which is basically my beat FLPs. Then kit files, like as you can see, accents, phrases, drums, perc loops, and textures. Then my MP3s, which is just my beat MP3s, not my samples. And then for my samples, I have an own folder. And as you can see, there are all my samples. And at the bottom right here, there's an FLP folder where just my sample FLPs are. And it's really simple, but it makes such a huge difference when you're sending out stuff. And as you can see, when I want to send out my starters, I have all my starters right here and not like just in one random folder where I just have to search them. So if I want to send out some samples, I'm just going to my samples folder. Then if I want to send out beats, I'm just going to my MP3 folder. And the same thing with starters, because you don't have just one folder with like FLPs, MP3s from your beats and samples and starters. So it makes it like so much more simple to send out stuff or basically to find stuff. And I have the same thing for February, the same thing for March, and everything else. Like let's say for December, I have one more folder which is called videos, and there I basically just have my voice recordings for my videos because I have to mix them. But that's really it for having organized folders, and you can copy my folders if you want to. Now for the next thing, let's say you went into my StarSwap multi kit, pick the melody MIDI, and then just go into another kit, go to one shots, and basically just pick a one shot and you want to drag it in. But then there's the simple waveform because you didn't click on this thing right here and dragged it in or press the mouse button. And the solution for this is really easy. It's basically just pressing Alt and N, and as you can see, it's gone. So I'm gonna just drag in another sound, and as you can see, this is longer, so it's even more annoying. So you press Alt and N and it's gone. And this is probably the best trick I've ever learned because it's so annoying to have like the waveform right there. So yeah, that's how you fix it. Then because I just showed y'all how to save mixer tracks, I'm gonna show you how to save plugin presets as well. So let's say you have this analog bass drive preset right here and you really like it. You just go on the top left of the plugin, go to save preset as, and then just give it a simple name. And when you want to open it up again with a new instance of Omnisphere, you just click on the top left again, go to presets, and then there is this favorite preset. And then it loads for a second, and then you have the analog bass drive preset again. Then if you make a sample or beat and have like 5 different sections with like 20 plugins or something like that, you can reduce the CPU usage with just going onto tools, then going onto macros right here, and then under MISC, there is this switch smart disable for all plugins. And it's basically, let's say I have pattern 1 and 2, and in this pattern 1 there are like 3 plugins playing, and in the pattern 2 there are 2 plugins playing. So without smart disable, all of these 5 plugins will be active. But if you have smart disable on, just these 3 on the first pattern right here will take up the CPU, and then when it switches to the second pattern right here, just these 2 plugins will take up the CPU. So you really don't have to have the best PC to make music or make music with like a lot of plugins. Just turn on the smart disable right here and you'll be good to go. And then if you want to load up like a very big preset into an FLP where you have like a lot of plugins, basically go on file settings, or you can do that like all the time, and turn this autosave options to frequently every 5 minutes and before risky operations, or very frequently every minute and before risky operations. I have it to every 5 minutes because it's more than enough. And then when your FL crashes, you just go on the top left to file file and then just go to revert to last backup and the autosave file should be there. And this is really a tip that saved my music a lot of times. Then 2 tips that helped me keep my nerve. The one thing is basically when you have like a sample right here and you want to chop it, press Alt and C, or basically just C when you don't have the keyboard thing enabled, and you can cut it like this. But as you can see, it just moves around weirdly, and when I want to cut it right here and go like a little bit to the left, it will cut not on the 49 right here, it will cut like a little bit before that. But if you want to cut like this, like very precisely, you just hold your shift key with it and then just go down. And as you can see, it isn't perfect because I have the zero crossing enabled, and I'm gonna just turn this thing off right here, which is the zero crossing, and then do the same thing again. And as you can see, now it's perfect. And if you want to go around your tools without clicking on the top left right here, you basically just have to click your right mouse button and then just scroll through it with your scroll wheel obviously, and then you can get on your tools like very fast without clicking on the top left. And now here's probably the most helpful tip I've ever seen, and it's this typing keyboard to piano keyboard tool, and you just enable it, right click on it, and then you can just choose your root note, then go to minor natural. And as you can see, every note I will play will be in C minor because I selected it right here. Because when I reset it, as you can see, it will just play notes that aren't in the scale, and that's all you really need to get some ideas out of your head into the piano roll. And now I'm gonna show you all a thing which is really important to me, and it's the themes. And as you can see right here, I have my own themes, which is like a blue one, a white one, a green one, and a red one. And I'm gonna just show you all how I make them real quick. So I choose a color right here, have the highlight, mute, and option to the same color. Then for the steps, I pick these 2 colors right here. You can just copy the color codes. Then for the meters, I have these colors right here, which you can copy as well. Then for the waves, I have like a really bright red, and then for the lowest one, I have a really dark red. And for the text, I think I just left it on its default thing, or it's basically on silver. And then for the options, I have light mode, and audio and automation clips use note colors on. And that's really all I do for my FL skins or FL themes. And then if your audio is still buffering or still like lagging, I would say, or your CPU is just too high, you go on options right here, go on audio settings, then go to buffer length. And I have mine on 512 because for me it's just perfect. But if yours is like still like a little bit of laggy, you just turn it up right here, put it on 1024 or on 2048. And then for the last thing, since I showed you how to save effect chains, I'm gonna show y'all one of my effect chains, and it's this mastering chain which is called Luca Master, as I showed y'all. And I have this Abbey Road vinyl on there with these settings right here. It's with this preset, and I turn off the noise, crackle, and clicks. Then it's RC20 with the Luca Could Be a Pet preset, but I turn off the digital and the space. Then it's L1 limiter just to make your samples louder. Then it's sound shift to pitch 0 from waves, where I just change like the pitch of my sample just to see which pitch sounds the best. Then it's simple hyper chorus on its default preset. I just have it on 8% mix. Then it's fully parametric EQ, where I just duck some of the lows. And then this simple soothe on these settings right here. So yeah guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And if you haven't already, check out my kit store, which is called Lucaland. The link for that is in the description, and you will get a personalized 15% discount code. I would really appreciate if y'all just check that out. And if you did know one of these things, I would really appreciate a comment and a like. And with that being said, I really hope I helped y'all. And yeah guys, see y'all next Sunday.